Welcome to Jacob's Ladder. This is going to be a little bit of a longer one. My camera shuts off after 10 minutes, so it won't be longer than 10 minutes at least. You know? But we'll put the bottom of Jacob's Ladder. And then we'll also hit Ghost Falls. It's a pretty windy day, so I apologize if there's a lot of wind noise. At least on these slow bits you can hear me better, right? This is one of the more technically advanced trails in Corner Canyon. It's pretty darn fun. And it's also one of the ways to get up to the top of Lone Peak, which is a really fun and challenging hike. If you're ever in the Salt Lake area and you have 12 hours to hike 6,000 feet, one of my favorites. There's Lone Peak. Oh, you can't see it. It's back there. So, I was talking with a friend recently about stretching and warming up and the value of that for general fitness and wellness. And one of the most overlooked yet easiest things to do is called foam rolling or self-myofascial release, which is those round foam cylinders that you see at gyms and yoga studios and things like that. And essentially what you're doing is giving yourself a deep tissue massage. So, the way people do it wrong though, or maybe I should say less good, is they will kind of roll around on it, which feels really good. Just kind of the opposite of deep tissue. It just feels really good. So what you need to do is start at the insertion point of your muscle. Let's take calves, for example, which is the one that I need to roll more often than I so often don't. This part's scary to me, so I might not talk for a sec. Okay. So, start at the base of your ankle, kind of your calf, I guess. And you're going to just kind of lift your bum up in the air and too scared for that one too. And then start rolling towards your hamstring, and then you can choose how much pressure to put on your calf muscles and also the angle. So this is the end of Jacob's Ladder and the beginning of Ghost Falls. So you're putting pressure on your calf by rolling towards your hamstring, and there's going to be a point on your calf where it goes from being pressure to being painful. And that pain is an indicator that you've found the right spot to focus on, where the Golgi tendon organ is kind of tensed up and gotten all tight and created those knots. Whether you can feel it with your hand or not, there's kind of a knot there. And you want to focus on that knot, and that's where people do this wrong. They don't focus on it. You want to keep pressure with as much pain as you can tolerate on that tight, painful spot. So you're holding that for at least 30 seconds, if not 60 to 90 seconds. And then when you release that tension, the Golgi tendon organ also releases its tension. And you are looser, more flexible, and easier for you to perform. So one thing to keep in mind though is that you wouldn't want to do that right before you're going to perform something. So if you're playing basketball, you wouldn't do it 5 minutes before the game, because not only are you loosening the muscles, but you're also decreasing their strength. So increase elasticity, but decrease strength. So it takes a few minutes for those muscles to recover and get back into optimal power. But when they do recover, then you'll be more powerful, more flexible, less prone to injury. So try some SMR or foam rolling next time you see one of those foam rollers. You can do your calf and your hamstrings and your quads and your groin. You can get your piriformis and your butt. You get your glutes, and then your upper body. You can get your pec and your back. Some people get their shoulders. One of the most popular ones in the lower body is going to be your IT band. In this one, you would put the foam roller on your hip. You'd be laying on your side, and then you would roll the foam roller down towards your knee, and that's pretty much a surefire time for you to experience the discomfort and pain I'm talking about, and put some good pressure on that. So give it a try. Thanks, guys. You're good. So this trail is one of the classic trails in Corner Canyon, and I just don't ride it very much anymore because it's a little bit out of the way for me. It's really interesting because this spot has changed a lot over the years, and then there's another spot up here right ahead that 8 years ago there was a little tiny, I don't know if you can see, but this spot through the rocks was much shallower than it is now. So it's kind of fun to see how things progress over time. It's actually, now that I think of it, this is the first trail I took a video on way back, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago. I taped my iPhone, one of my iPhones, or my iPhone to my helmet, and then my wife's iPhone to my shin, I think, and took 2 vertical videos simultaneously, and then used it in a training I did at work about how perspective makes a big difference. Because when you look at the helmet view that you guys are seeing now, it's a lot smoother and not quite as scary, and then you put the camera on the shin level and things get a lot trickier and scarier from the viewer's perspective, of course. So if I can find that just on some hard drive, it'd be pretty cool to compare to this, to the way the trail looks now. Some of the features are the same. Like this one, I don't remember that rock being there. I wonder if it has been exposed, or maybe I'm thinking of this, I don't know. But that's the thing, right, about perspective, is it really makes a big difference of your view. I just was told of a story from this baseball season of a guy who was caught on camera catching a foul ball, and instead of giving it to the young kid in front of him, he gave it to his girlfriend or wife or whatever, his guest, and it was on camera, and the kid in the front row looked all sad and dejected, and so social media was ripping them apart. I think it was the Cubs organization decided went and treated this kid to some great perks at the game, and signed ball and bat and all that kind of stuff. And then comes to find out that the guy who caught the ball, that was his 3rd catch probably just foul balls that the ball boy had thrown into the stand, or ball girl, and he had given 2 away already, and the kid already had one. So it was a little bit silly once you get the perspective of the guy wasn't all that bad. And he wanted to give one to his guest, or his friend. So perspective matters. Hopefully I can give you some different perspectives on my rides. So we've obviously got some uphill here. I've tried to keep uphill to just a few percentages of the length of my video, so you don't have to hear me breathe so hard and go so slow. I think that's about as long as I would want it to be. So that's my commitment going forward. We'll try to minimize the downhills. The uphills. That's me. Minimize those uphills as much as I can. Looks like we got more here. So I think I'll wrap it up. But I'm going down to where I just looked over here, down to the bottom of Corner Canyon. I appreciate you being with me today, and I look forward to our next trip. Thanks for coming down with me. Enjoy the rest of the ride.